Ladies and gentlemen, it's crazy. It's like one day we get all the worst news, and the next day it could be a random, Tuesday, like today, and you just have so much exciting news. And that's what's going on today. There's a Nintendo Direct this week, or potentially. Great news about physical Switch 2 games, as well as some other updates. Let's go ahead and get right into this video. That's what's so crazy in the gaming industry right now. It's like, well, we got some bad news, so this week's going to be bad. Boom, you get good news, and it's a lot of good news. Or you get some good news, and you're like, okay, things are working out. You're a dumbass. You shouldn't have think that, because it's all bad now. And that's why you can really only go day to day, or really hour to hour with gaming news. Specifically Nintendo news, because what the hell is going on over there, guys? Well, we're going to talk about it. Potential Nintendo Directs or Nintendo presentations this week. No more game key cards, or hopefully some Switch 2 game updates. We got it all. So hit a like and subscribe if you could. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our communities growing. And let's go and get right into this video. So a prime example of how we can get bad news one day and good news the very next day. Whoa, I said prime example, and I'm talking about Metroid Prime 4. Whoa, it's all connected, isn't it? But yesterday I covered not so much a leak, but a journalist saying that he heard from Retro Studios that the game is not finished and it's being delayed, and there were some issues, and I kind of believe him. That's normally what happens when you see a game being shown off over and over again, and advertisements for it, and random ratings for it, but no release date. It's not hard to put two and two together to see that there's something going on with this game. Now, today, we have the complete opposite of that update, that the game is coming late in 2025. But the way that people are assuming this, even though this news is coming from Nintendo, I don't think it confirms it at all, but we'll still check out what's going on. Nintendo reaffirms Metroid Prime 4 is coming late 2025, semi-debunking Kiwi Talks. What the hell is semi-debunking? What are y'all doing here? The recent statement that it may be delayed into 2026. There is this end of the year fan expo going on in Canada, and it's saying like upcoming and the latest Switch 2 titles will be playable, and does it say it in here? Yeah, somewhere. Oh yeah, right here. Attendees will be able to play upcoming games like Metroid Prime 4, available later in 2025. So yes, it says this game is coming later in 2025. But what people are taking from this is, well, since you're going to be able to play it, that means it's 100% coming this year. I do think this is leaning towards more good or promising news, but just because the game is playable doesn't really mean anything. Because Metroid Prime 4 was playable at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience before the consoles came out, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same exact demo there, you know what I mean? And that Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's probably going to be the same demo as well, and the Mario Kart World, and Street Fighter, Borderlands 4 and Elden Ring. That is pretty cool seeing those titles there. I might have said Hades somewhere, yeah, and Hades 2 as well. So yes, I think this is good news, but I really honestly don't think it means anything at the same time. In my opinion, it is a 50% chance that Metroid Prime 4 comes out, or it's delayed till next year. Now, currently, the number one talking point around the Nintendo Switch 2 is game key cards. I gotta be honest, I should care more because I'm a physical game collector. I'm not a physical game collector. I prefer physical media, movies, Blu-rays, games. And with games, normally I'll beat them and then I'll sell them and use that money towards my next game. This is my small Switch and Switch 2 collection right here. I haven't had a collection since I was 10 years old, but the Switch 2 makes me want to collect. But what am I collecting when I'm collecting key cards, right? So I should care more, but I just want to play games, It's almost like, well, at least I get to play the game. I have a PS5. A lot of times the games are cheaper and they're actually physical on the PS5, but I just like playing handheld. It's just what I'm comfortable doing, so that is how I feel. I know I am the odd one out though. You're either a digital gamer or you're 100% all in on physical collecting. There's no way to look at it from a positive standpoint that we don't have as many physical games on the Switch 2 as we should, and the way it's trending, not in a great direction. we seen about 2 weeks ago in Japan, they did a survey, but this survey was weird. I thought it was going to be like, do you like game key cards or not? But it was essentially like, do you like game key cards or do you only like game key cards a little bit? There was no alternative. We finally got this survey in America yesterday, I believe. I filled it out yesterday. I'm not sure if the survey is actually live anymore, but it was very bold and straight to the point. Like, do you prefer physical games? Do you like game key cards? Do you like digital? What do you buy? What would you buy for other people? It was Nintendo really checking the temperature of what's going on. That is promising. It really is, because why would they even care unless, people aren't buying the games? And I could see that actually happening, that whole vote with your wallet thing. I think it's actually happening a little bit with the Switch too. So I think something might come from this, but that's just wishful thinking. But we might have proof of this happening in a huge way. The makers of the Switch 2 carts, Macronix, has reported in their quarterly earnings that they will start using MLC NAND and 3D NAND. Be honest, I don't know what any of that means, to meet varying capacity requirements. So to break it down for the simpletons out there, like myself, it seems like they're going to start producing other size Switch 2 cartridges. As of right now, there is only a 64 gigabyte cartridge. I could be repeating something that's not true. I think they said it was like $15 to make these or something like that. And then, you have to sell the game and Nintendo has to get their cut, and the taxes and fees. And especially if your game only costs like $20 or $30, it's really not worth doing that. So that's why we're getting all these game key cards. You have the anomalies like Cyberpunk, putting the game and the DLC on there, and you see how they're rewarded. That is like the second or third best-selling Nintendo Switch 2 game period right now, because it's a physical game. So what's the alternative here? Well, obviously give us a 32 gigabyte cartridge, a 16 gigabyte cartridge. I don't understand why this is not something that was addressed ahead of time. I don't understand the ins and outs and the technology behind all this, but I know it's possible. So it seems like this was developers and publishers saving a couple dollars and kind of passing off the blame to Nintendo. It's like, look, we can just do game key cartridges. It's way cheaper. People are still buying our games, and if people complain, we'll say, hey, Nintendo's only giving us one option. So with Nintendo doing that survey and the feedback online, and to see that the carts manufacturer for the Switch 2 is making other options, I think we are headed in a more positive direction. Obviously nothing is happening yet, but this is something that, people could have been vocal about for a week or two and just brushed it off. But in that last partner showcase, I could be wrong, but I think 99% of those games were game key cards. And once you've seen them all on like a piece of paper or a banner where it says all game key cards, you're like, dude, this sucks. You know what I mean? Why don't I just buy these games on other consoles, especially if they're cheaper and I'm getting the full game? And I think Nintendo understands that's where we're at with this. Speaking of that partner showcase, it was okay, so-so. The Campfire game, it gives me nightmares, man. Especially with those dumbass pictures of like people sitting up like this, that's unsettling. But what if there's another Nintendo Direct this week? I said in my video yesterday, I had a hunch that something like that was going to happen because I feel like there's questions that are unanswered. Today, I go on Twitter and I record these videos a day in advance. So this is Monday, August 4th. I think it's a YouTuber, I'll be honest. I don't really watch a lot of gaming YouTubers. Switchforce saying 100% that there's a presentation this week. I seen somebody else say this as well. Allegedly, it's a indie showcase, so. And I guess indie showcases are not considered Nintendo Directs. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody even pulled up like an article from Nintendo saying that they don't consider them Nintendo Directs. I don't really care. Indie showcases are freaking awesome to me because I love indie games. And also, Hollow Knight is an indie game. So, yeah, that's just me hoping for something that probably doesn't even exist anymore. But, yeah. Allegedly, there's going to be like a 3-part series of Directs. It's going to be a partner showcase, then an indie showcase, and then an actual Nintendo Direct back to back to back. Is that true? Probably not. But allegedly, there is an indie showcase this week. That would be amazing. because, I mean, I just want more games for the Nintendo Switch 2. And as of right now, yes, there are games coming out, but this weird ass thing Nintendo's doing with dev kits, it's just putting a bad taste in my mouth, and then having the game keycard issue. It just feels like a missed opportunity for the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2. And I know it's only been like 2 months since the console release, but it just feels like so many missed opportunities, especially when you have the fastest selling console in history. Everybody wants one, everybody can't wait to play one, but once they get one and they play 3 or 4 games, it's like, well, what do I play now? You know? So I hope we get some more news this week. I have a feeling that something is going to happen, and I've had that feeling. So this would be really cool if this does happen. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. On the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. I give away eShop gift cards every single Saturday in eShop sell videos. I gave away a Nintendo Switch 2. I'm going to give away more whenever I feel like it. So be on the lookout for that. Discord in the description, streaming weekly. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.